Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this Around the Ropes YouTube exclusive. Now, guys, you know we always talk about companies in Jersey, and some of the big companies. One of the big companies in Jersey is ISPW, and one of the faces of ISPW, you can almost say he's part of the Mount Rushmore of ISPW, is on with us tonight. This is a guy I've been wanting to have on the show. I would say since we started the show almost 3 years ago. The one, the only Rick Recon. Rick, how you doing tonight?
Fantastic, man. I don't know if I'm on the Mount Rushmore of ISPW, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Well, I say that because one of the most legendary rivalries I remember from my time of seeing ISPW was you and Crowbar.
Yes, that's about. I mean, we went 5 matches at this point, and we're gonna have end up. They announced it recently. We're gonna have number 6 in April 19th, actually. So
And the funny thing is, I was at the show, the one where you guys were in the steel cage, the second steel cage.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was that they upped the ante with that by like throwing in all the TLC element into it. So that was very challenging. I think that was actually the first time that anywhere had ever done a like TLC cage match where they had thrown in all kinds of uh, fun stuff into the mix and allowed the competitors to go outside of the cage, because usually cage matches are obviously through escape, but the cage was more like a weapon really than
Yeah, no,
anything.
I completely agree. But speaking about your rivalry with Crowbar, have you been able to kind of pick his brain in these matches?
Yo, of course. Like anytime, even if you didn't take a lot of time with Crowbar, which you should, um, any of the young guys coming up that get the opportunity to work with him, take advantage of it, because he has so much experience. He's got 33, I believe, 33 years in the business. So, and he goes like one of us. So, um, if you don't take advantage of that, I don't know what to tell you, because you will, even if you're not stepping in the ring with him, if he's on a show with you, take advantage of talking to him, ask him to watch your match, whatever it is. Like, you'll learn something from him every single time. He will always make you a better worker, better wrestler. If you spend any sort of time with him, real genuine time with him, he'll make you a better person. So I can't
Oh,
speak enough of him.
I could imagine. I mean, I met him once, and he seems very down to earth type of guy.
Excellent human being, truly.
But I want to look at your, because I said before we started recording, you have 3 busy weeks ahead of you, and it
Yeah.
all gets started off this coming Friday, March 15th, Hackentown's New Jersey. For ISPW, the big attraction, obviously, Mick Foley is going to be the special guest GM, but you're in a fatal 5-way for the tri-state title.
Yes. I
What's
would
your thoughts
call
going into the match?
I would call it a what you call a. I mean, I would say it's a 5-star match, and no, not because of Joey Ace. Personally, I think he's a dud of a human being, but that just goes. That's besides the point. Uh, and actually, I'm going to point it out that I am the tallest, biggest, and strongest competitor in this whole match. I outsize and outstrength all the other 4, hands down. Um, Now, that's not to say that they aren't excellent competitors, all 4 of them. That would be very foolish for me to say that. I've had plenty of run-ins, as you could say, with Ray Calitri, the former tri-state champ. So I'm sure this will be another little chapter in our rivalry. But listen, anytime you have an opportunity to have any sort of match at ISPW is an opportunity, much less for a championship, one of the few championships that is up for grabs at ISPW. Also, the tri-state title, it's a title that I feel can really elevate a lot of guys. Like, I don't think it's in any way secondary to the heavyweight championship. I really don't, because it's kind of one of those workhorse titles. Not that the heavyweight isn't, but tri-state is definitely one of those things that uh, when you have it, it'll definitely shine you up. It'll definitely bring eyes to you. You bring eyes to the company, and that's how it works. So
So is it safe to say then, for to put it in terms that some people may understand, it's ISPW's version of the Intercontinental title?
yeah, I would say so. That Intercontinental United States, even TV title, I guess you could put it, probably would probably fit it just as much. But yeah, listen, it's a championship opportunity. It is truly a 5-star match because all 5 individuals in there are up and coming stars. Um, that's not egotistical. That's just facts. And listen, that I did my very well might steal the show.
And I'm just going to mention, the other 4 competitors in the match in case people aren't aware of who was in it. It's yourself, Casey Navarro, LSG, Vinny Pacifico, and the 5-star 5-star stud Joey Ace are the other 4 people. Just in case people who are watching this later on are like, "Oh, who are the other 4 guys?" Just listen to them. Is there, obviously, you're targeting all 4 of them, but is there one person in particular that you're looking at and saying, "Okay, I hope him and I cross paths in this match at some point"?
I'd say the champion. We've never crossed paths before. Not in the ring. We've crossed paths plenty of times before at different promotions, but it was usually a case of like, hi bye, shake the hand, show respect type of thing. It was never in the ring. And listen, the kid can go, and the kid is getting his due now. I remember when he was young, up and coming, kid Christian. So I'm sure he hates that being reminded of that one. But um, listen, he's where he is now because he put in a lot of hard work. You know what I mean, in the right places. So, and he took an opportunity and he had it and he ran with it. That's it.
I think with this match, obviously, I just went through the 5 guy, all the names, and this is definitely a match that if people are able to make it to the show, definitely I can probably look at this as a match of the night candidate,
Oh yeah,
just because of how all 5 of you guys are all at the top of. I mean, you think of independent wrestling in the Northeast. I mean, you can think of. I know it's going to take. You have to be hundreds of names, but if you did a list of the top 100 guys in the Northeast, I guarantee you the 5 guys in that match are probably in the top 15 right
yeah,
now.
yeah. I would tend to agree with you. Definitely on the upper echelon of guys in the Northeast. Absolutely, just because of all 5 guys in this match. They're well traveled. They've been places. They go places. They tour. You know what I mean. All of us. We're not 40-mile vets. You know what I mean. We go hundreds of miles, sometimes thousands of miles. You know what I mean, to work and put our time in and just try to be the best that we possibly can be.
And I think that's what's going to show off in this match is it's not like you have 5 guys who were in the ring before.
Yeah.
It's you got 5 guys who, like I said before, you guys know what you're doing, all 5 of you. And I think the styles that all you guys, I think the best way I can describe it's almost like a buffet, almost.
Yeah.
It's different type because each of you guys have your own types of wrestling.
Yes. Every one of them. I don't. There's not a single what I would say repeat
No,
in this match. There's not like 2 or more guys that have the same exact style. They just don't. So that's what's gonna. I feel that when you have matches like that, it tends to spice things up. It really does, and it brings a lot of different elements together, and it can really be a match that is very noteworthy. People will watch and people will remember after they leave.
exactly. And this is a match that if you're able to see it, like I said, you're not going to forget this match. I think is the best way I can put it. But I want to keep things moving here because that's not the only big thing you have coming up. Because in the following week, the 22nd, back at ISPW again, but this time you're part of the Rumble.
Yes, yes.
Now, I correct me if I'm wrong here. Winner of this Rumble gets a title shot down the road, I'm assuming.
Yeah, golden ticket. Basically, it's very similar to Money in the Bank, as that's how I understood it.
Yeah.
Basically it's good for. I think you're able to cash it in. I believe it's after uh 80s Con 5. Yeah, the 80s Con is coming up. It's May. I believe it's May 4th, and
Yeah.
I believe it's good for after that because because there's Ray Kalitri obviously has the he already has a golden ticket himself, so I'm assuming it has something to do with contractual obligation that they can't have different tickets however it works out, which is understandable. But obviously clock is ticking on him to cash that in, so you better cash it in before somebody challenges him to take it. you know
Now, oh no, I completely agree. But now, is this your first Rumble match in your career?
No, no, no. I've been in other Rumbles before. Battle Royals Rumbles. I think everybody with any sort of experience has been in them. A lot of times that's the first way to get your feet wet in the business is like to get into a Rumble and kind of see what you can do in a match of mass chaos with a whole lot of people in it. See if you can last. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times it's really what it comes down to. It's especially if you got like 30, 40 people, like, and you kind of come in on the first few competitors there. It really is about endurance. um there's a couple of things that always tend to come up. Everybody talks about being number one, but the thing is in Rumble matches, number one and number two are the same because you both start in the ring, so neither one is in longer than the other. And the other one is everybody always talks about eliminating 29 guys. Not even Roman Reigns eliminated 29 guys himself. I think his number is like 12 or 13 in a single Rumble.
Yeah.
The point is, listen, is it doesn't matter how many people you eliminate. It matters if you are there at the end. If you're the last man standing, you could eliminate one other person, but if you're the last one standing, you are the winner. So that's really truly all that matters in this game. It is a test of endurance. Can you last? Can you be smart enough to survive?
I
That's really
think
what.
that oh no, I completely agree. I think the best way that it can be put, and I mean the name I'm about to bring up, you know this guy very well, Dave LaGreca, Busted Open.
Yes,
They say it a lot on Busted Open. Nobody remembers the match itself. Everybody remembers the finish.
and that is the ultimate truth in our business, and that it's sometimes it's an unfortunate thing because sometimes you will have just excellent matches, and you put a whole lot into the beginning and the middle, however it ends up flowing. But yes, it's true. They only really truly will remember the finish. That's it. So honestly, anytime you are working, I tend to just the finish is what's important. Make it memorable.
Exactly. Now obviously they've announced Tommy and ISPW management have announced a lot of the names. Is there any name in particular that you're looking forward to being in the Rumble with?
There's a few that I would say that would be good to cross paths with. However, one guy that has not worked with ISPW, but I have ran into a few times, would be probably one of the best competitors in the Northeast, hands down. Just phenomenal talent, Sean Carr. Sean effing Carr. Listen, I will say this about Sean. I don't tend to put people over that I have to fight, that I have to end up possibly facing. Uh, However, Sean Carr lives up to the hype. Sean Carr is definitely somebody that ISPW management as well as ISPW fans should pay attention to. Um, he can go, and I hope if he's brought back, they can have Sean Carr versus Rick Recon in an ISPW ring.
I
'Cause that can honestly, and again, not to toot my own horn, pat myself on the back, but I think that could main event any independent show and send the fans home happy.
Well, you bring up an interesting thing though. When you bring up Sean Clark, is a lot of times when you get new guys who are coming to ICW. I mean, we had on our show, God, a couple months ago, we had Alex Ryman on,
He's another one.
and
He's another one. I'm just gonna put that out. He's another one. Good dude, dangerous, dangerous individual though, and he's firing on all cylinders currently, and he's just everything is just clicking for him right now. So
well,
I love to see it. However, um, definitely shouldn't. I don't think he would take me lightly because he certainly shouldn't. But I would, because you mentioned him, that would
you,
certainly be another guy.
well, I've noticed it with Alex Ryman. I noticed it with a lot of the people who come into ISPW. When it's brought up as far as who would you like to face, it seems like the first name out of everybody's mouth, Rick Recon. Rick Recon. It's
It's
like you have become the standard bearer of ISPW.
that listen that is whether I hold gold or not, which I'm telling you that I will in the very near future. I will get my title back. Title I never really lost. I'm going to get that back. Period. So whoever has the title at the time, just be prepared to pass that over because it's going to happen. However, title or not, that is the main goal for me is to be the bar. Basically, I have set the bar. I am the benchmark. I am the and I want to say gatekeeper because I don't like the connotation of that, but I like just to be the guy that this is the standard. So prove it because dude, listen, when you are that again, Tyler or not, you're the man. That's it. You are the standard bearer of that company, of that area, whatever it is. But it's very, it's humbling to know that. It is an honor, but I definitely don't take it lightly because you know me. You've watched me long enough. I don't when I get in that ring, I don't play.
I believe me, I've seen you now quite a few times now.
Yeah, we don't
And
we don't dance here. We fight.
no, I've seen. I mean, I saw the one match of yours that I'll never forget, and it's not one of the bigger. It's not part of the whole Crowbar series, but it was the Total a Day Fair, you versus Vargas.
Yes, yes. That was a tough day at the office as far as surviving him. He's a lot. He is a lot. So really had to put a lot in to put him out. But
Yeah,
I
but
did.
that was that. Oh no, and the only thing I feel sorry for you guys for that day was being under the sun that entire day.
Yeah, that can definitely drain you. That can definitely have an effect on what you do in the ring and how you feel everything. But it's what we do. It's what we prepare for.
No, I completely agree, and it's actually funny. I brought up that Total Day thing. That was the last ISPW show I was at.
Really. Wow. That,
That
that
was
was that was a bit ago. That was last year.
Yeah, that was the last one because unfortunately, it's nothing against Tommy at all, but the problem is a lot of these shows are done Friday nights,
Yes,
And
yeah.
me coming down from Long Island,
That's a lot. Yeah, I know. I'm well aware of how the traffic works. Long Island Expressway going 95. Trust me, I get it, man. I get it. It's rough. You know what I mean? I live in the Westchester area now, so yeah, I get it. It's rough.
yeah. But believe me, but I will definitely make it my best to be back at another ISPW show in the foreseeable future. But want to transition out to another company that you just made your debut in a couple weeks ago, Ace Pro Wrestling, and you answered the open challenge at the return at the, I don't know if you want to call it the comeback show. And I can tell you right now, I think it blew everybody away when you made your debut.
Yeah, that was rather it was a rather interesting night. Um I think it was good to because I feel like not a lot of people have done this, and maybe they have, but you don't usually see it. Open challenge is usually one guy, but they never said anywhere in the open challenge that it has to be only one guy.
No,
So listen, I'm there. I didn't particularly have anybody. I did have someone lined up for me in Rob Vegas, but for some reason, something really motivated me to go out there and be like, all right, I'm gonna challenge these two behemoths, and if I survive, I'll survive. If I was like, nah, you know what? I like the way that Ace Championship looks. Looks really good. Would look really good over my shoulder, around my waist. So it was a tough start to the day. Trust me, it was rough. It hurt a lot. I mean, you know, you have Wrecking Ball and then you have Vince Steele. Those are two absolute behemoths of humanity. Um, but again, you only need 3 seconds to win. You only need to be in the right place at the right time, and that's what I did. Took advantage of it, and I was just about as shocked as anybody else, as the crowd was, to survive that and to walk away with the championship. But at the same time, I was confident enough to know that I was going to walk away with it, and that's why I refused. I was like, no, you know what? We're going to put the title on the line against Rob Vegas because you know he's a fantastic competitor. Uh, Very dangerous, dangerous. He pushed me to my limits. I thought he almost broke my back, keeping
yeah,
me in that clover leaf. I was in that. I don't even know how long I was in that for. I that was brutal, but I I ain't tap. I ain't tap, and the crowd wanted 5 more minutes. I mean, it wasn't 5 more minutes, but I gave it to him. I wasn't gonna walk away. You know, I mean, I'm not a guy that walks away. So I defended
I
it. Listen, that's it. You know, I won it, and then I defended it and retained it. So I had 2 matches in one night. You know, started as champion and as champion.
I mean, I will say this much: I from like the area I was sitting in, a lot of the guys kept chanting. They're like, "Who are you? Who are you?" And I'm sitting, I'm going, "I know exactly who this guy is."
Yeah, sometimes that happens, and it's not even an offense, but you know, in independent wrestling, like I don't take it personally because there's a lot of fans that they only go to one local promotion and they only pay attention to that local promotion, and that's fine. Like I'm not like I know a lot of people will sit there and like take it personally or like take shots at these types of fans, but like they're fans, man. And a lot of times they just come to whatever wrestling show happens to be right in their direct area because not everybody travels to shows. You know, where not all fans are like you that'll travel. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Make the best of it. So if they don't know who you are when you come out the curtain, make sure that they know who you are when you go back through the curtain. That's your
Yeah,
job. That's your job. If you could do that, then you know what you're doing. You know that you got something. So I must have something, I guess.
I know you definitely did, and yeah, just piggyback on what you said. Yeah, I'm that idiot who, not idiot. I mean, I do it because I love the sport, but I'm that person who will travel 3, 4, even upwards 6 hours to go to a show but just because I enjoy this and I enjoy, just being there, to be honest, and just. But I want to get to the big announcement that was made last night on our podcast about who you're facing March 30th.
Yep.
The All Father, Darius Carter. Now, is this the first time you guys are going to be in the ring together?
Yes, it is. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. When I said I've waited years for this, I waited years for it. Um, Back when I was regularly working with BCW, um, he was champion, and you always want to go after the champion. But you know what? At the time, I was not ready. I'll admit it. I wasn't ready. I would have gone for it, and might have crashed and burned, might have walked out with something. But now I'm ready. But now you're coming to me. I'm the champion. This is my yard, as it were, my house. Okay. Yes, it's a new house for me. I just closed on the deal, just signed it. So, you know, I did just get there in a sense. However, I am the champion. So he comes to me. Now I'm very well aware of who he is, what he does. He is absolutely one of the most dangerous competitors in independent wrestling, not just the Northeast, but in independent wrestling overall. He is. I'm aware of what this is going to do to me physically. However, I'm not the only one that's going to leave with bumps and bruises. I don't lay down for anybody. I don't care if you have some fantastic entrance that everyone loves, or whatever it is. You have this reputation for being as dangerous as he is. That's great, fantastic. Pretty dangerous myself. I'm not the same kid that he remembers, that he laughed at before, that he chuckled at the idea of wrestling. Not the same. Not the same. We've both gotten incredibly far better than we were then. Both of us. I ain't laying down for anybody. I'm keeping that championship. I don't care. That's it.
One other thing I was going to add to that, I completely, from what you were just saying, I just sit here now, I'm like, just get to March 30th already. I don't care what else is going on, just get to March 30th. Because as a fan who, obviously, I've seen both of you guys in action plenty of times now, this is one of those odd dream matches, if you can call it that. I don't know if dream matches exist in indie wrestling, but if they
They
do, this is definitely on the list.
they no, they do. They do. I mean, it might not even be a dream match, but it's definitely I can at least say that I feel that there's a lot of people that want to see this. There's a lot of people. I think a lot of the fans and workers alike would like to see this. I do, and believe me, that it's going to be a show.
It all goes down March 30th at the Teaneck. I don't want to call it Teaneck Arena. I know that's what Mike Morgan kept calling it, but it's the VFW Hall in Teaneck. You're not going to want to miss it. Definitely go get your tickets. Either you can get them at the door or go to eventbrite.com. Just search Ace Pro Wrestling and come. You're not going to want to miss this show, if not for nothing, but to see the dream match of Rick Recon and the All Father Darius Carter.
Oh yeah.
And last thing I'm going to say is this: when the announcement was made, because like I said to you beforehand, I had no knowledge that any announcement was even going to be made.
Yeah,
My mouth dropped to the floor.
it took me by surprise too. To be honest, I wasn't sure that they Mike kept it close to the chest on that one until he made the announcement. So, but I had a feeling it was going to be somebody somebody that was up there, top guy. He doesn't book matches that are, especially main events, that are just mediocre. I knew he had to have something. So I was like, it's either going to be Danny Moff or it's going to be somebody that's somebody out that caliber, and he got somebody that caliber.
Yeah, and like I said, guys, you're not going to want to miss it. If you also get the chance, go check out ISPW. What Tommy Fierro does, what they do over there is some of the best stuff. And also with them, the other thing I just want to mention, you never know who you're going to see. And that's the price to pay right there.
It's a surprise, man. That's the element of surprise. It's what's so fun about pro wrestling, especially independent pro wrestling.
That's one of the reasons why people look at me and they ask me, well, why do you talk about it so much? I'm like, for what you just said. Because you never know what you're going to want to see. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to transpire.
Yeah. Listen, just buy the ticket, take the ride, enjoy it.
So all we can do. But Rick, before we let you go, first of all, thank you for hopping on with us tonight. I appreciate it a lot.
Anytime.
Before we let you go, what else do you have coming up you'd like to promote, and where can the fans connect with you on social media?
I mean, that we mostly covered that. There's if you go on the ISPW any of the pages, any of their social media, they have a list of all the upcoming shows and events that are coming up. I'm on every one of them, so that's all there. So get ready for a run of Recon and ISPW. So get ready for it.
I couldn't have disagreed more. And I think next time we have you on, not only am I going to be referring to you as the ACE World Heavyweight Champion, but I also have a feeling I'm going to be calling you the ISPW World Heavyweight Champion as well.
That's the goal, man. That is the goal.
Again, Rick, thank you so much for hopping on. I appreciate it a lot. For Rick, I was about to say Rick Recon. I'm John. This has been Around the Ropes, YouTube exclusive. I'll catch you guys next time.